have no access to education. For us, when you look at our universities, most of you who went to Kenyan universities are beneficiaries of HELB, Higher Education Laws Board, that was working. William Ruto has destroyed it and brought some mongrel of some financing model that is not working, and most students are at home. For us to restore the education system and make sure that the future of our children is secured, William Ruto must go. You people who work here in the States, most of you are in the health sector. You do appreciate how important a health system is when it's working. We had a system called the NHIF that was working but limping. It needed some little beating here and there to make it work. And when we were campaigning, we promised that we shall reduce the monthly contribution from 500 to 300 so that everybody can afford. Instead, William Ruto scrapped it and brought an animal called SHA. That does not work. And all of you here know it's not working because you are under pressure from home to help the people back home with money for treatment, isn't it? And buying them drugs. You know it's not working. For us to fix the health system, we must get rid of this character. The economy is crumbling. Last week, fuel prices shot by 9 shillings per litre. That means there will be a ripple effect on transport, on consumer goods. Paying bills, people have not been paid for the last 3 years. Most people are being auctioned, those who supplied goods to government, those who did services to government. If you look at the Nation newspaper, 5-6 pages every day are full of auctions. Unfortunately, those adverts for auctions are repeated every week because there is nobody with the money to buy what is being auctioned. People are unable to pay. The banks want to auction their houses, their homes, but there is also nobody to buy because nobody has money. Nobody since independence has ever played around with the military. The military is a very respected institution in Kenya, and across the world, our Kenyan soldiers are celebrated for being professional. They take care of our borders, they take care of our country. It's an institution that we don't even like talking about in terms of politicizing it. For the first time since independence, our soldiers who have been well taken care of by the state are being told to go and buy their own food. There is no money to feed them. We have always fed our soldiers. There is no country in the world that should not feed its soldiers because those are the men and women, patriots, who defend our borders. These are things that are unprecedented, that have not happened. That soldiers are being told instead of staying in the barracks and having their meals to go and look for food outside. When you look at foreign relations, we have a foreign policy, non-interference with the affairs of other nations. We have interfered with what is happening in Sudan because of conflict of interest. The president is openly supporting a rebel group because he is in business with the rebels of gold. And Kenya is assisting in sending arms to Sudan. Those arms are killing women and children. In the process, Sudan has suspended the importation of our tea as a protest. President is interfering in DRC because he is interested in the business of smuggling gold. Again, Kenya is in a very difficult situation internationally. You find that State House has become a crime scene. It's a center of corruption and bribery. Money meant for education has been diverted from the National Treasury through the National Intelligence Service. It's withdrawn in cash every Friday and given to the president in cash. This is the money he's using to bribe our bishops, our reverends, our pastors, our politicians, our MCAs, And it's the money that Soprano is using to go around the country, bribing women and young people for political support. That's why there's no money for education. There's no money for medicine. There is no money for anything because all the money is being stolen and being used for politics. The abuse of the Bill of Rights, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association, freedom of the press are dear ideals that are very well protected in the 2010 Constitution. All this has been thrown out of the window, and in Kenya now there is a lot of suppression. Telephones are being monitored, there's no privacy, and everybody feels intimidated. People are being arrested on Fridays and charged with terrorism when they have done nothing wrong other than just speaking out as provided for in our Constitution. Abductions of young people, the killing of the Gen Zs, is totally unacceptable. And that is why this regime must be one term, because we cannot allow anybody to kill our children. And that is why I know all of you are worried, because you have children back home. You have relatives back home and you don't know what will happen. So these are things that are very scary. And again, the use of the criminal justice system to manage politics. Harassment of leaders. The Honorable Mukonji, the MP for Manyata, the Honorable Jane Kehara, the MP for Naivasha, have been arrested and with trumped up charges simply because they are calling out Kasongo. And of course, what is very worrisome and callous is the temerity of William Ruto, that he is no longer pretending about killings. Kipchumba Murkomen, the minister in charge of Interior, publicly and shamelessly, in total disregard of the law and the Constitution, gave out an order to police to shoot, to kill. And the police did so on June 25th and on 7th, because they had orders from the minister. People were up in arms, and instead of the president admonishing him and correcting the situation, himself, an elected president, publicly said that people should be shot in the leg, shamelessly and in a very callous manner, something that has never happened since independence. A president who is elected by the people giving orders to police to shoot people in the leg. Three days later, his tribesman, Nelson Koech, who is the chairman of the Defense and Foreign Relations Committee in Parliament that is supposed to oversight the military and the National Intelligence Service, said, no, President, you are wrong. They should not be shot in the leg. They should be shot in the head. So when you look at the statements by Kipchumba Murkomen, William Ruto, and Nelson Koech on killings of the Kenyan people, you get very worried. You get very worried. And that is why we are saying this situation cannot be allowed to go on forever. I've heard you say you don't want one term, you want half term. I'm sorry, it's not possible. There has to be one term, 24 as it is, because we have a constitution and we want to change government through an election in accordance with the constitution. William Ruto would have wanted us to attempt to change it another way so that he can jail us. That is why when people went to the streets, he was saying it's a coup. Nobody wants to overthrow William Ruto, and nobody will overthrow him. We want to change the government through an election because our constitution says we should have an election every 5 years. So we just have to put up with him. The other day he was saying we should bear with him and give him time. Well, Mr. President, it's very difficult to give you time to continue killing children. You're asking us to give you more time to kill our children, to shoot them in the leg. You're asking us to give you more time to empty our national treasury and divert those funds for politics. But we don't have a choice because Kenya is a constitutional democracy. We just have to persevere for the 2 years, hoping that we'll find something in the national treasury and hoping that you not kill all of us. In the unfortunate event you don't stop the killings, probably you can kill 5% of the population. But the 95% will still be around to send you home. So, I want to say, as I now come to the issue of the diaspora, please assist us by talking to your people back home and tell them that they must remain steadfast, they should not be intimidated, and they must be ready to make William Ruto a one-term president. Will you do that? Number two, lobby your congressmen and your senators because you elect them here so that the American government is aware of the violation of human rights back at home, the trampling of the Bill of Rights, and the impunity by William Ruto. Because America respects democracy, and it's good that the American government knows you have the capacity to lobby your congressmen and women and your senators so that they know what is going on. This movement, we are driving it at home. From here, you can also help us. Our party DCP requires resources. Whatever you can contribute is welcome to be put in good use so that we push the agenda for the next 2 years. Even as I'm here, the movement is going on. Today I addressed 4 meetings through phone in Embu, Runyenjes, Manyata, and Nyeri. Yesterday I addressed a meeting in Kwamaiko. Tomorrow or this morning, because of the time difference, there will be meetings in Murang'a. Another time there was a meeting in Loitoktok. We need to, our team there is doing a great job. And that shows you this movement is not about Rigiji. It's a Kenyan movement. The one-time thing is going on in my absence. The other day I had seen Duale say that this one-time thing is about Rigiji. I'm not in Kenya, I'm in the States. One time is moving on. It's beyond Rigiji. Even if today somebody persuaded me to try to stop the one-time movement, I will be swallowed by the movement. It's beyond Rigiji. This thing is real and is heavy. Yeah. I want to say that great people from the diaspora, you are a very serious partner of our national development. In the 70s, coffee was #1 foreign exchange earner for our country. In the 80s, tea was #1 foreign exchange earner for our country. In the 90s, tourism was #1 foreign exchange earner for our country. Today, as we speak, and for the last several years, the #1 foreign exchange earner for our country are remittances from the diaspora. Our foreign exchange reserve is maintained and sustained by you people. You are very serious partners for our economic development. And any serious government needs to take you seriously. Those of us who rear dairy cows, for a cow to continue giving you milk and lots of milk, you must take care of it. You must make sure it has hay, give it some dairy meal. Nowadays, we are even giving them mattresses to sleep on so that they don't feel cold at night. And some people are even playing country music to the cows. Ken Rogers and Don Williams and Cresta Gale, for them to produce milk. You guys are our dairy cow. For you to continue bringing the dollars, we need to take care of you. We need to be nice to you. And we need to listen to you to know how you want to be governed and how you want to relate with your motherland. For you to bring the dollars, you need to be sure they will not be stolen. For you to bring back your money home, it must give you some value. So I'm here to seek an engagement that when we form government in 2 years' time, how do we relate? How do we make you comfortable to invest back home? Do we give you incentives? First and foremost, we'll do away with the double taxation. You cannot pay taxes in America, and from your savings, when you bring them back home, we tax you again. That's unfair. Yeah? We need to agree with you people. Can we have a diaspora bond where when you invest your money, we give you a certain interest rate that is slightly higher than what you are getting in the country where you are working, so that we encourage you to bring back your money home? How do we make sure that your savings back home are safe? That is a conversation that I want us to get into. Again, you people must come and develop your country. This country, we are not going to develop it alone. I'm seeking a partnership with the diaspora. I want you to be part of our government. We are not going to run it alone. If Professor Choti here has been in America here for 22 years, and he has some skills that can be useful in our country, why not bring him into government to come and add value to what we're doing? What would it cost me as president to get diaspora people to take charge of our embassies across the world? Because they know, they understand those countries more than we do. They know what Kenyans want in America. They know how we can relate with the Americans to come and invest home. Why do you go to look for other people when you have people who already know how to deal with the situation professionally and in an effective manner? And I'm not just talking. Me, I'm a truthful man. This is a promise that I want to keep. Yeah? I want a very serious engagement with the diaspora. I would like you to be the people in our embassies, either as ambassador or deputy ambassador. And for consular services, why do you want to go and bring people who have never been here? How would they understand the challenges the Kenyans face here? Yet we have people here who are Kenyans and have the necessary and requisite professional qualifications that are required to do those jobs in the embassies. It's even cheaper when you have people who are living here. When you want to market Kenyan goods, we want to market our coffee, why don't you get people right here, our young boys and girls here, to market the coffee here? Because they hang around here and they understand this place much more than we do. I'm looking for a very serious partnership and engagement with the diaspora, and I'm speaking with a lot of seriousness. This is not just talk. It is something that I intend to do. In terms of legislation, I want you people to come back home and help us. I would want in the Senate, my party, the DCP, will have several nominated senators because we are strong in various counties. And those numbers for nominated are decided depending on the elected numbers. I would like to have one nominated senator in the Senate for DCP from the diaspora. So that you come and enrich our thinking and share with us best practices seen elsewhere. Similarly, we also want somebody from the diaspora to be a nominated member of the National Assembly to assist us in legislation and oversight. I have seen the success of devolution out here. The counties are working. I've been here, I think I was in Boston, and we were in a hall like this one, and there was heavy rain, very heavy, for almost an hour. We could not even hear each other. By the time we came out, you could not even know there was rain, because the drainage system works. You cannot tell that there was rain. If that kind of rain was in Nairobi, you would require Mkokoteni fellow to take you across. In all the counties will be strong. Over 25 counties where we'll be very strong. It's my proposal to get at least a nominated, specially elected MCA from the diaspora in each of those counties to assist us. To oversight the counties and to come up with the county legislation that will enhance devolution. So that is my offer, and we'll continue to engage, and I'll be a frequent visitor. Vile mumenichunga, nitakuja sana. Na musibadilike. Maybe you have just treated me very nicely because it's the first time. Musibadilishe. You can see I'm even looking a little bit more brown. So we'll come and we'll engage in other states. Nitaenda nyumbani, sukume Kasongo halafu nirudi. Hatutaki tumuache sana, si ndio? Msiniweke hapa sana. Hata leo watu wananiambia wewe sasa usikae sana. Wewe kaa kidogo halafu rudi. Tusukume hii mtu. Sasa hiyo mtu ni kichwa ngumu. Na tukimkubalia second term atatukalia vibaya. Because the question you must ask yourself is this one, in a very honest manner. If this man is behaving the way he is, killing children, saying people should be shot in the leg, stealing money from the national treasury and using it for politics, talking arrogantly to the people of Kenya, when he still needs their vote, what if he is elected a second time and he doesn't need you? Si mwenyewe atakuja na bunduki atupige risasi mwenyewe? I don't think he'll send the police. I think he'll do it himself. Atakuwa anatembea na bastola, akipata wewe barabara, anakupiga mguu. So, for Kenya to be our country, for the safety of our children, for the revival of our economy, for the restoration of the education system, for the restoration of the health system, William Ruto must be one term. Tuko hapo? Mimi sitaki nipitishe hapo. That's what I needed to say. I'm willing to take questions, but I want to assure you things will be different. And finally, maybe to assure you, I've heard you say that we must stick together as a team. Let me tell you, we don't have a choice. Anybody who is bribed by Kasongo to leave our team will be hanged alive by the people of Kenya. And that will be the end of his political career. Ukitoka kwa hii team, mimi mwenyewe nikitoka, wa Munyoro nitakosa pahali ya kwenda. My neighbors will skin me alive. I'm telling you, and I know that. Same for Kalonzo, same for Matiang'i, same for Natembea, same for Mother Karua. All of us have a duty to the people of Kenya to stick together as one team. Na tumekubaliana kila mtu atafute kura zake. Mimi natafuta zangu, na mimi natafuta, mimi silali. I am not sleeping, and I have very serious boys and young girls wananitafutia. Mimi natafuta zangu. Kalonzo atafute zake, Matiang'i atafute, Wamalo atafute, Natembeya atafute, kila mtu atafute. Then tuketi kwa meza, tusiweke hapo. Tuseme sasa, hii watu yote tumetoka kwa Ruto na Raila, wanataka one term, nani atawaongoza? Who among us can lead them? Then tuulizane maswali. Wewe Kalonzo, sema, how do you do it? Atueleze, tusikize. Wewe Matiang'i, utafanya namna gani? Wewe mother wa sister, namna gani? Natembeya hii kazi utaweza? Wewe Eugene nini? Wewe Rigiji, mimi nijitetee niseme mkinipatia nitakibisa hii mtu kama baisikeli ya kuibiwa. Then bora tutoe one, and I want to give my commitment here at the Hilton here in the States that if the formula does not favor me, I will support whoever the formula favors. We must sacrifice for the sake of our country, and not because of our tribe, for the country called Kenya. And there is no Kenya who is not suffering. I met some guy here, I've seen him around here from West Pokot, and he told me they are even suffering more than the people in Nyeri. I have talked to people in Bomet and Kericho. They are crying. Every Kenyan is suffering. So this is a Kenyan cause. And it's not about tribes, not about communities. The only thing that happens, my young daughter, Kenyan politics, you cannot win without a coalition of regions. And what you do in politics, just like we do in homes, you cannot go to your neighbor to tell your neighbor not to stop quarreling with his wife and children. They should work together with his wife and children so that they don't make noise to you as your neighbor. When in your own house is even more noisy. You first put your house in. Yeah, you get your wife, your children, you sit them down, you agree as a family, you are united and you are peaceful. And that house is having love and unity and living peacefully. Then if your neighbor is beating his wife, you go there and say, no, please, why don't you live like us? So what we have done is first you take care of your house. And then you go and look for friends and neighbors. And that is what I did. I united my own house. And the children are happy. And everybody is happy. And then I went to look for my cousins. Sindio? How do you go to engage your cousins when your own son is not listening to you? Uko na shida na mtoto wako na bibi yako. Alafu naanza kusema cousin kuja tukae pamoja. You must first take care of your house. When your house is one and is talking the same language, then you go and look for your cousins. Hi, Makuzo. Hi, cousins. Once you have looked for your cousins, you go and look for your in-laws. Sindio? That's the way it goes. Because we are Africans, and that's the African way of doing things. Why William Ruto anapiga kelele akituita wakabila? He is bitter that the mountain that made him president has left him. There's nothing we can do. Mimba ya kujidunga, the people of that region voted him to a man. He was rejected by all other regions except Rift Valley and the mountain. Coast rejected him. Northeastern rejected him. Nyanza rejected him. Western rejected him. The mountain and Rift Valley supported him. He betrayed the mountain. He mistreated them. They have left. Instead of thinking of how he can talk to them, he is abusing them and calling them tribal. It's a case of sour grapes. Unajua kakabweha alipoona matunda iko mbali, akijaribu kurukia na hafiki, anasema hata haijai. That is the situation. And let me finally, so that I allow questions. Although Raila Odinga and his members are abusing me and abusing the mountain people for no reason, just because they are with Ruto. Raila Odinga is an old man. And you know, like I have seen here in America, you take care of your senior citizens. And we must always take care of the elderly. Bwana Prime Minister, wewe ile kitu hiyo Kasongo ataonesha wewe, uliza mimi. The guy is pretending to be nice to you, but utakuja kuniambia. If he called me and the whole mountain, na sisi vile tumesoma na vile tunajifikiria tumejanuka. This, when he brought Raila, nikamuliza huyu mzee, umemuleta? Asema bana, we are just managing this mzee, tumtafutia kitu kidogo ya kukula anyamaze. Alafu tumwambie kuna hii kitu ya report ya dialogue atoe, lakini it will go nowhere. I want to tell you, Raila Odinga, William Ruto told me that NADCO report will go nowhere. He's just calling you. And he has told Ichung'wa and company in parliament to delay it until the next election. So you are there waiting for Ruto to implement the NADCO report. There is nothing, he will not do it. Again, he told me, and I have seen it has come to pass, that he'll be close to you and he'll divide ODM right in the middle. Today, as we speak, ODM fellows are abusing each other. The Luo MP leaders of ODM are abusing the Luya ones, and the Luya ones are abusing the Luo ones. Just what William Ruto told me, that I'll go near this ODM. It's a strong party. I will divide it right in the middle. So wewe mzee Raila, although watu yako wananitukana, wacha nikuchanue kidogo. Wewe Ruto atamaliza chama yako ya ODM. NADCO will never see the right of the day. Amefanya jinsi wa kuchukie. Waluya wamekuacha, Wakamba wamekuacha, Wakisii wamekuacha, amekuachia Wajaluo nusu. By the time William Ruto is through with you, you will be nobody in Kenyan politics. Wewe uchanuke mapema kama mimi. Si ndio? Mimi niliona, you know, he was trying to divide my base ya Maulima into east and west, nikakataa. He wanted to divide the counties, Murang'a atafute kiongozi, Kiambu kiongozi, so that he renders me and our people irrelevant. I refused. And I want to tell Raila Odinga, he'll destroy ODM completely. And you have seen it is happening. He'll undermine you in all areas you used to be popular. And by the time he is through with you, you'll be a pale shadow of your former self. Ordinarily, I will not give you that advice because your people are not very nice to me. But because I'm a Christian and I'm an honest man, I think it's only fair to be nice to an old man. And tell him what I know and what I see happening. So mimi nimeshukuru. Tutashikana pamoja kwa one time? Yeah? Tuko hapo kwa one time? So I am very happy for listening to me, And I speak from the bottom of my heart. I love my country and I mean well. And I am determined. I have a very great resolve to join the rest of Kenyans to liberate our country and to bring meaningful change. And I am indeed very encouraged by the enthusiasm I have seen here in the States. I will leave here a better leader, knowing that I'm not alone, and go and tell the people of Kenya that your brothers and sisters and cousins in the United States are together with you. So you are prayerful people. Please continue praying for our country. Please continue remembering us in prayer. Please continue talking to people back home. Kenya is your country, and you have a responsibility to help us make it a better place to live in. And finally, you guys, when you work here, you must go home and retire. And you want to find a beautiful place, a peaceful place.